take the life jacket. Toss them the life jacket. I'm in the back of their boat, and they're still trying to tow the boat that's now underwater, and their boat starts to sink. And then within 10 seconds, their boat's halfway underwater.
Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. For the New River Battalion, I'm Major Daniel Harrison, and you're watching Torched Ones, the show where we have answers to your burning questions and even a hotter wings. Today, we're joined by two of Ranger Company's finest, Cadets Will Crandall and Dirk Nugent. Will Crandall is a local from Roanoke, Virginia, who will commission as an armor officer this spring before heading to Fort Moore, Georgia for ABOLC. He likes bass fishing, picked up golf this semester, and loves to crochet freestyle while hanging upside down.
Okay.
Cadet Dirk Nugent, not to be confused with Duke Nukem, is from Schwanksville, Pennsylvania, a mere 45 minutes from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's hometown.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Dirk likes to get in fights, practice BJJ, and is very interested in joining the Freestyle Swimming Club. Gentlemen, all jokes aside, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
What are you most excited about?
I like just talking shop, talking about the Army.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same thing, sir. Just sitting down and just talking and having a nice lunch.
Anything specific you want to talk about over the course of the show?
No, nothing specific. I have some questions prepared for you, sir, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to kind of get I know you went to West Point. I was wondering if you had any, since we're about to graduate, any college stories or funny stories or experiences that you look back on fondly, or stories that you learned from as a cadet and then grew from as an officer.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one story. It's really funny. My brother Michael was at West Point 3 years ahead of me, so he was a senior when I was a freshman, right? He was a firstie when I was a plebe, and he only messed with me once, but he got me really good. He knew my platoon leader, so his classmate, and it was the last week at the end of the summer training. You do 6 weeks of training, and then you have a week where you're integrated into the rest of the Corps of Cadets, right? So kind of like New Cadet Week, where you join the organization, right. You transition from summer training to that. And my platoon leader came in and started, yelling at my roommate, and I were like, "What do we do? I don't understand what's going on." And we to go out on the wall. You stand at attention in the hallway, and are told why you made a mistake. So. My PL and his roommate are yelling at us. I'm like, I don't understand what we did. We made a huge mistake, and there's somebody standing off to the left in the dark. These hallways had dark corners, and then they come and tackle me, and it's my brother, and he starts laughing, and they start laughing. So then we go back inside. Well, my poor roommate's still sitting in there, standing at attention, trying to understand what's going on, and he sees, an upperclassman walks in. He gets a little concerned. He's like, "Oh man!" And Mike goes, "Dude, look at my last name." He goes, "Oh, thank God." So he definitely got my blood pressure up. So that was it. All right, you guys ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
This is chili maple. It's one of the hot one sauces. It's one of my favorite. All these wings, of course, have Cindy's magical rub on them. No baby bites.
That's good.
So how are you guys with spicy food?
I love hot sauce. I was telling Captain Spinini earlier that Tabasco is usually my limit of hotness.
You've made a mistake.
But I do love it. I love all different types of hot sauce.
What do you like about hot sauce?
Just the flavor.
How are you with spicy food, Dirk?
Not someone to put it on everything, like some people are, put it on their eggs, mac and cheese.
Are you talking trash to Sarbanco right now? Is that what's going on?
Nah, I've talked enough trash on Sarbanco.
Clean that wing.
Oh, all right, you've been challenged. There we go. Ranger up, Will.
But no, I'm not super into hot sauce, but figured this show would be a good challenge for me. So.
Okay, well, I'm glad you accepted the gauntlet. Since Will's still eating, Dirk, I'm going to ask you a question. That's pretty clean. Well,
yeah, you're good. No, I normally eat him.
He's a savage. Dirk, what's your favorite part about being in Ranger Company?
I think my favorite part about being in Ranger Company is just the other guys and gals I'm surrounded with. We definitely push ourselves to the limit every single day, not just with PT, but with academics and labs and training. It's really just been an honor to be around people that every single day want to give 110%, regardless of how they feel, how tired they are, and just everyone's willing to go that extra mile. So that and just the friendships I've built through it have been the best two things for me.
Right on. Well, think back to the last 4 years your experience as a cadet.
Mhm.
What big lessons do you have, to turn your question around, for the underclassmen or people that are interested in becoming cadets here?
It can get easy, especially senior year, to kind of let off the gas. And I think back to so my junior year, going into junior year, I got an air assault slot. Didn't take it as serious as I should have when I was there at Campbell. You know, kind of just went into it with the mindset that, like, oh, I'm going to pass this school, everybody passes, right? So I get there, and phase 2 sling loads. You know, I studied, probably didn't study hard enough, failed actually. So I got sent back, and then had a lot of time to reflect on that. That next semester, really worked hard to get a slot in the winter, so you can go within 6 months and reinsert. So I got a slot in the winter, took it serious, drove down there like from Roanoke to, so it was about an 8-hour drive to Campbell. Took care of business, got my wings. Don't take opportunities for granted, I'd say, is probably the biggest lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. Make the most of the chances you get, because that'll open other doors.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys have a question for me if we go to the next wing?
Yeah, I have one for you, sir. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Understand, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
Classic.
It's just, this
I'd
is like
love
a
to see
perfect
that.
marriage for my
That's
favorite.
classic.
We can do that. My vocal range is basically like James Hetfield minus, so it
Okay.
fits well. I can't do much more for you.
All right, that's a good one.
How about you?
Probably Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice.
I was gonna guess Party in the USA. But
Oh, that's a
that
good one
works for me.
too, sir.
My daughter likes Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, that's a classic. That just gets
Yeah,
everybody going. Honestly.
We've had some good karaoke moments.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna close with Ice Ice Baby then for the camera? Is that how we're gonna finish this?
Ice
off?
Ice Baby.
Okay, let's jump up here. This is fun. This is a jalapeno base sauce, lime and tequila. Really good. All right, let's do it.
It's really good.
So Dirk, how does a guy from Schwanksville, Pennsylvania end up in the Blue Ridge Mountains? Why are you here?
Well, sir, when I was looking for colleges, I was kind of at a crossroads between trying to wrestle in college or just do academics. I didn't really know what I wanted to do specifically. And I went searching, and I found Virginia Tech, the Corps of Cadets and Senior Military College. So I thought I'd come down here and take a look at it. And I think one of the pivotal moments of what really got me here was when I came to a visit. I met Colonel Mealy, and I got to sit down with Colonel Mealy and talk with him. And
He was the PMS at the time?
He was a PMS at the time, sir. And then he really just inspired me to want to come here. He was a leader that I just felt like I was drawn to. He always used to preach to us. Like, I still even remember that day, something I'll never forget, of him saying this quote. He was like, if I could tattoo one thing on every soldier, it would be that it's not about me. And like him just saying that made me want to come here, because I've always kind of felt like I've searched for other people with that mentality, and him preaching that it's not about me and everything that you do is for a team. And if you come here, that's what you're going to get. That's what drew me in. And when I got here, I realized that was true, that this program and the Corps Cadets here really is not about the individual. It's all about teaching you about teamwork and how to be a part of a group that's bigger than yourself.
Selfless service.
Right. So
Great Army value. All right, Will,
Sir.
tell us about Ranger Company Assessment. How's it going? And what have some of the candidates done that you didn't expect that impressed you?
So this is their last week during test week. So just a few more days for them to push out. It's going really, really well so far. Super proud of the candidates. From day zero, they have, you know, especially this core group that's left, they've really pushed out on every single event. I think they've shown all of us that they really want to be in Ranger Company, and they continue to impress. So I'm looking forward to having those guys in, and, you know, for them to get to have some of the same experiences that I've had.
Awesome.
if I could add to that, sir, I'd also say the thing I've been most impressed with is their development from who they were as cadets and people on day one to now going into test week. It's night and day. We've really seen them do everything that we've asked them to do and improve, and it's been a really special thing to watch that and lead that.
Awesome. It's great to see people rise to the challenges.
Right.
Sure.
Speaking of challenges,
All right.
let's do this.
It's like a little hotter, sir.
Hands starting to sweat a little bit. This is the number 7.
It is. It's a pistachio base, which is really
That's
unique
good.
for hot sauce. All right, Dirk. I'm going to ask the man from Philly a couple Philly and Pennsylvania questions. You got to tell me which passes muster and which does not make the cut. All right. Gas, Wawa or Sheetz?
Wawa.
Why?
Not even close. Wawa is the ultimate Pennsylvania experience, and it is the ultimate experience for anybody who wants anything. You can go in there, get anything you need, anything you want, especially a sizzly in the morning before school. That'll do it. Also, you have the app, free coffee on Tuesdays. Sheetz, I don't think Sheetz has that deal. So.
Pro tip. They got something similar in there. I don't know. I'm not a big Sheetz guy.
Probably
I'm
not
just curious.
good. Probably just doesn't taste as good, sir.
All right. Breakfast, scrapple or pork roll?
That is a very depends on who you ask. I'm gonna go scrapple, sir.
Why?
I just think it tastes better, and I think it's more unique.
Okay.
Definitely unique. It's got all sorts of things in it, but yeah, scrapple.
Donuts, Federal or Dunkin'?
There's a lot of local places I like, but I'd say I like Dunkin'. I do like Dunkin'.
Okay.
I just like their coffee a lot, so that kind of puts it over the edge for me.
The big question: cheesesteaks, Pat's or Geno's?
Our Place Restaurant, Boyertown.
Oh, option three.
If you're a local, you know Our Place. It's the best cheesesteaks. It's about probably 40 minutes outside the city, but like home style, the best. They make them right. Gina's is good too, though, sir.
Okay. Roast pork sandwich or hoagie?
Hoagie.
Finally, dessert. Are you doing water ice or are you doing a tasty cake?
That's tough. I'm gonna go in the winter a tasty cake, but in the summer water ice.
Okay. So for the rest of us, that's an Italian ice, but in Philadelphia, it's a
Water.
special.
It's a good. Yeah, you know,
Water.
it's a-
All right, Will. As a native of southwestern Virginia,
Yes, sir.
what are some of the most creative pronunciations of the word Appalachia have you heard?
Appalachia. Around here, I feel like it's just Appalachia. Appalachia, maybe.
Well, what about all the folks who are not from here? Have you heard them butcher it anymore?
Appalachia, Appalachia. But it's Appalachia. There's only one way to say that word, Appalachia.
100%. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Banfield, looking at you. All right. What do you guys want to know?
Favorite? What's your favorite duty station that you've been to?
Ooh, so I have enjoyed everywhere I've been, and I really do mean that. I think the most meaningful so far was my most recent Port Carson. Colorado Springs is a cool town. You can do anything there. But I also really enjoyed Fort Leavenworth. I didn't want to go to Fort Riley, but I found my time there meaningful. I enjoyed and learned a lot about central Louisiana and the southeast when I was at Fort Polk, especially the people never felt more welcome. I started my career at Fort Bragg, soon to be Fort Liberty. So all of them have like unique stuff. They all have pros and cons. I talked to the threes about this in class. Like, you got to make the most of wherever you go. You can cry into your pillow and sit on the couch and waste time, or you can make the most of it, because every place you go to has something unique. That's one of the best things about being an American. We have military bases all over our country, and you get to experience different cultures and different locations as part of our service, as well as globally, going to Germany, Italy, Japan, all these other places.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Good stuff.
you ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right, this is the private reserve version of Dreams of Calypso, and this is where we're gonna take a hike. So enjoy.
All right.
All right.
Nervous. It's hotter. Like immediately. That's hotter. It's good though.
We're pretty hot.
Okay,
Tastes good though.
It is good.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. We definitely like tasty hot sauce. Will, tell us about your boating experience.
Man, I've had a lot.
The big one.
Yeah.
The Titanic.
So it was March 8th, 2022. They'll never forget.
Living in infamy.
The Titanic is what it's referred to most commonly, sir. So, it's spring break last spring, and yeah, man, that is hot. But so I was like, oh, it's March. It's pre-spawn. For those not familiar with bass fishing, that's when the bite starts to get good. They start to move up shallow. Anyways, I'm like, all right, let's go try to catch some big pre-spawn bass. So I call my roommate who's from Greensboro. There's this lake down there that I've had my eye on for 6 months. It's a good lake, good fishing, so I wanted to hit it. I've got a 14-foot John boat, so it's a smaller lake. I don't like to take it on big lakes just because, boat traffic, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to come down and fish Lake Townsend. How far is that from your house? He's like, oh, it's like 10, 15 minutes. Sorry. And I'm like, call my other roommate who lives in Charlottesville. I'm like, hey, do you want to come down to Greensboro with me and, visit Cam? So yeah, let's do it. Man. Excuse me. You're doing great.
So, 1 hour later.
Got the boat, hooked up. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Got my rods rigged. Probably spent 3 hours rigging rods. And we pull up into the sheets. And it's 80 degrees out. Beautiful day for March.
Should have went to Wawa. That's right.
And I'm like, it's a little bit windy, And he's like, oh yeah, the wind's kind of blowing. So we check our phones, wind advisory. I'm like, all right, we'll see how it is at the lake, make it, a good judgment call. So we pull up to the marina, and it's kind of tucked away in this cove, just blocked from the wind. So we're like, oh, dude, this is nothing. It's not even windy.
2 hours later.
First time taking it out. And so we're cruising our way to the middle of the lake. And I want to hit this spot across the lake. And the next thing I know, it's just like tsunami waves, crashing over the boat. And I'm starting to freak out, I don't have much boating experience, especially when you're going 7 miles an hour. It's kind of hard to rip across the lake. So we're taking on water, and, I make a good judgment call, as a good leader does. I'm like, hey, we're going to go beach the boat and then figure out what to do from there. Worst case, we'll call the marina, get a towboat, get towed back. No worries. So we go across the lake, beach it to the nearest shore. The way it was beached, water was pouring into the back of the boat. So within 5 minutes, it was full. The boat was full of water. So we decided to unmount the outboard, because you can just unscrew it. We unmount it, we dump all the water out of the boat. Call the marina, we're like, hey, can we get a tow back to the marina? And they're like, yep, we'll send a boat. So they come out there in a Ranger with a 90 horsepower and come get us. I don't have much boating experience, like I said, so she's like, hey, we'll just tie our boat to the back of your boat and tow you back. So the back of our boat going that way. Mistake number 1. So we're getting towed back. We've got the outboard on the deck of the boat. We're sitting in my boat, getting pulled by a rope by their boat. For whatever reason, she's going 10 miles an hour. And
I'll get the visual aid.
Yeah. So probably within 25 seconds, I'm sitting on my boat and it's sinking, completely underwater. And I'm like, hey, we gotta get some sort of bilge pump in here. I'm flagging them down. So they connect the two boats. My boat's underwater at this point. So my roommate's just handing me my rods. I'm holding on to them for dear life. Sling my tackle over my shoulder. And I'm like, grab the outboard. So my roommate tries to hold on to it as the boat's going down. And it drops. Never saw it again. So next thing I know, I toss him a life jacket. He's swimming back to shore. And I'm like, take the life jacket. Toss him the life jacket. I'm in the back of their boat, and they're still trying to tow the boat that's now underwater. And their boat starts to sink.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
I'm in the boat with the 2 park rangers, and their boat's now sinking because it's still connected to my boat, which is underwater. And she's freaking out, the 2 park rangers. She's like, I don't know what the hell to do right now. The boat's going down. So I'm like, I say, iconically, I was like, hey, we gotta get off this boat before it takes us down with it. So I'm like, let's hold hands. So we hold hands and we jump off the front of their boat. And we jump off holding hands. and we land like waist deep of water. So we walk to the shore, my boat washes up, I end up getting it back, thank the good Lord. So they call the fire department, and then we get back to the marina, and like, the news is there. It's kind of cool, not gonna lie.
I got it right here. People rescued on Lake Townsend in Greensboro after wind disruption fishing outing.
The other staff member and 2 boaters made it to shore.
Check the weather and don't push it. Don't push the limits. I like to do that a lot. Unfortunately, today I learned my lesson. It was a traumatic day. It was hindsight. It was probably worth it because I've made some good memories from it. But yeah,
I'm gonna call you Jonah from now on. I'm glad you made it, Luke.
Yeah, yes sir.
Okay. I'm a former wrestler. I got the surgery-operated ears and crooked nose to prove it. You both wrestle. If you had to take it to the mat today, who's coming out on top?
Go ahead.
I think I would personally, sir. I don't have as much experience as Dirk, but I feel like I'm just more like crafty.
Our wrestling match in the dorms freshman year would say otherwise, sir.
No, in all honesty, Dirk would win. Probably. He does BJJ and probably 15 years of experience wrestling. I only wrestled for 2 years. I loved it. I was never that good, but learned a lot.
Yeah, it's the best sport in the world.
Great sport.
In my opinion, sir.
Well, my wife to believe that. I don't know. Love both my kids to experience it. I enjoyed wrestling because when you're out there, it's you. And
right.
Win or lose, it's the effort you put into it. And I found that really rewarding. Even if you lose, right? It's like, well, I worked hard. Mm-hmm. This is where I got, and I know what I want to improve.
Yes, sir. Right. Can't point fingers, sir.
Yes.
Right one right back at you.
Absolutely. All right, what do you guys want to
know? This is kind of a broad question. Favorite, if you look back on your Army career, what's one event or experience, whether that be like a deployment or a rotation, like what's your favorite experience when you look back thus far? Funny, sad, doesn't matter.
I'm not going to say one event because there are plenty of events that are special for different reasons.
Right.
What I have found most rewarding during my career is seeing the success of the people that were in my organizations later and seeing the impact I have been able to make, a positive impact as a leader, and getting that feedback from people I served with. So, some of the soldiers who were in my platoon when I was a platoon leader, I still talk to this day, right? And seeing the amazing things they have done as soldiers and as citizens, that's what I found rewarding, to know that I played a small part in that. Because that's, the Army writ large contributes a lot to society outside of obviously our national security role, right? We build leaders who go back into our society and create success, and that's really special.
That's awesome.
I have 2 questions, sir. One like more serious, and then one another cool creative one. First one, going into the infantry for myself and a couple of the other seniors. What do you feel like the difference is, or what advice would you give for different units as far as like your experience with striker units and then your experience with light units?
Okay, so you should understand the personality of the installation you're going to, because that heavily impacts the climate in each unit, and then the equipment set is going to impact the climate. So in striker and mechanized formations, you got to spend a lot more calories on maintenance because you have more stuff to maintain. And that's a necessary part of staying ready and able to do your mission at any given point. In light units, it tends to be less important, but that's because the maintenance focuses on weapon systems, and the personnel are really how you're going to stay mobile. So if you don't like route marching, for example, you probably don't want to go to a light unit or an airborne unit, right? If you're scared of heights, 101st Air Assault Division is probably not for you. But those are also great opportunities to get over some of your personal fears. I don't love heights, but I've jumped out of plenty of airplanes. I took that as a challenge and enjoyed what came out of it. So.
And then I will ask, if you could be any movie character, who would you be?
Luke Skywalker. Next question.
That's a good one.
The ultimate good guy.
That's a good one.
Don't love what they did with him in The Last Jedi.
Me neither, sir. I could write a book about that.
My kids are watching the original trilogy right now.
They should just end it there. That and the prequels, and then just cut it off.
You're a prequel fan? You're a child of the prequels?
Yep.
Okay.
Prequels,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love them when they came out. I've come to appreciate them more, but it's definitely a generational difference.
I think 2 and 3 are really good. 1's a little, it struggles a little bit, but 2 and 3 are great.
Yeah, my parents don't love them, and they saw the original Star Wars in theater, so yeah, it's probably the first one you experienced live, right?
Right.
That's way
I think
what you like.
Revenge of the Sith 3 was the first one I saw in theaters.
Got a great opening of those. So.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
All right.
you guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
It is tradition around here to add a little something extra.
All right.
This is Pepper Palace's Mr. Payne, 1 million Scovilles. How much you put on there is up to you.
This is, I hope the viewers can see the bottle. It's like a super jacket guide. It says, execute your taste buds.
Sweating already. Here, tell me when, Dirk.
It's because you're wearing
Just go
civil
for
gear.
it.
Just
More?
more.
All right. That's all good.
Look at that bad Larry.
Oh,
I like it.
all right.
Go big or go home.
Did you do this one, son, man? All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Godspeed.
Let's do it. Ah, man.
Better clean them wings. There you go. Get in there.
All right, Dirk. Well, Mr. Payne has your nerves in a triangle choke. Why do you like BJJ?
Sorry.
I love it for a lot of the same reasons I love wrestling. I love the idea of competing in something that is, most people would say is individual, and it is when you're out there, but I love the team aspect of the training that like gets the individual ready. Like, I love going to workouts and practice. Oh, it's so hot. Surrounded by a team of people that make each other better, and then we go out and perform as individuals, but overall it's the room and the team environment that gets you to where you are.
Okay. Will, who's got the better truck?
Oh, my truck. 100%. 100%.
What is it that you drive?
It's a 2008 Nissan Xterra.
That's hot.
Big truck.
Truck.
Yes, sir. Truck.
And what do you drive, Dirk?
I drive a
Watch your eyes.
Don't touch your eye.
2015
God.
Toyota Tacoma.
I'm sweating.
That's hot.
Well, gents, congratulations. You made it to the end.
All right.
Will, Dirk, you won. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Any closing questions?
How does a boy from Wythe County make it to the United States military academy? How'd that happen, sir?
Well, both my parents served in the Army, and like I told you before, my brother had been, my grandfather had gone to the Naval Academy. My dad went to Virginia Tech, and he had told me, and I think that's the right place for you, you should consider it. So, right around my freshman year in high school, I started thinking about how I would get there. And there was an advantage to being from a small place, which is not as many students were necessarily thinking about the service academy. Right? So I was able to compete successfully for a nomination and went, and it was absolutely the right place for me. I wouldn't have succeeded here. You guys have a lot more discipline than I did at your age, so congratulations on being able to accomplish stuff. There's way too much going on around here, and I would have gotten in trouble. All right, you made it. This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your lives.
So, excuse me, 2 months until commissioning and graduation. I'm just trying to, finish strong, keep my grades up, and, enjoy the last little bit of college.
Dirk?
Finishing up the semester as Ranger Company XO, and just trying to keep the faith and keep mentoring everybody and keeping the pedal to the metal until the very last day here. I'm super proud to be a part of this organization and want to make sure that I finish strong.
Gotta go harder.